Hey, and welcome back to Vita versus 3DS. In this installment, we are going to look at Assassin's Creed 3 Liberation and Assassin's Creed Bloodlines on PSP, and just do a quick graphical comparison to see how far they've evolved. So first here, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the climbing animations. So, of course, Liberation is on top and Bloodlines is at the bottom. And first thing to note is the textures of the buildings. The textures are a lot better in Liberation, obviously, and a lot flatter in Bloodlines. Also in Bloodlines, everything seems to be evenly spaced out to avoid Altair doing awkward or more complex animations to get them. Where in Liberation, Aveline has a greater set of animations, so they were able to build the buildings more realistically, and she's able to grab everything. So let's synchronize on both of them. So you can see the draw distance. All the buildings tend to be really square looking in Bloodlines. That's just to make them easier to render. And they look more realistic in Liberation. So let's dive into the hay here. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to show off a stealth kill animation. In Liberation, there's a lot of different kinds of stealth kill animations, whereas in Bloodlines there's only two. There's one from behind, one from the front. So this is what it looks like in Liberation. Just a quick stab from the front. That's just one of the many. And from behind, you cover the guy's mouth and stab him in the back in Bloodlines. And it never changes. It's always like that. So let's try to get into a fight in both of them here. Alright. So here, the max fight count tends to be 4 for Bloodlines, where it's a little more in Liberation. You're going to see in Liberation here, I'm going to hit this guy and 2 guys are going to magically appear out of nowhere. That's only happened to me twice so far in the campaign. It's not a really big deal. Like, I don't understand. It's like every game has glitches, obviously, but it only happened to me twice, so it's not a big deal. The fights in Bloodlines take a little longer because they're a little harder, and the animations, like, it always goes into a little cinematic animation whenever you counter a guy like this. So they tend to take a little bit longer, but not that much longer. So in Liberation here, I'm going to show off some of the clothing textures and draw distances. So her clothing textures are very good. You can see, like, they're high quality, high detail. The way the light hits them, the textures actually look different. And they're actually really, really well done in this game. And shortly I'm going to show that off in Bloodlines as well. So as you can see in Liberation, I'm going to be running through a more densely populated area, and you're actually going to see the frame rate start to take a hit. And that's a common theme in this game, especially in the city of New Orleans. Whenever you go to more densely populated areas, the frame rate starts to chug. It can go as low as slightly, maybe like the high teens, which you really, really notice it. Even the people who claim they don't notice frame rate issues are noticing that. And but in the bayou areas and in the less densely populated areas, it tends to stay in the high 20s or locked at 30. So either way, it's not totally game breaking. Anyway, in Bloodlines here, I'm just showing off some of the draw distances, which are not very good, but anyway, some of his clothing textures, though, I find his character model is actually really strong for a PSP game. It's actually really, really good. He looks smooth. He doesn't look blocky at all. The main problem with Bloodlines, though, that I feel like not a lot of people articulated wasn't the graphics, and it wasn't how it looked like in screenshots. It's how it looks like in motion. Altair's running animation looks like he, took a crap in his pants. Like, he just runs really weird. And whereas Aveline looks a lot better when she's running. Everything's a lot more fluid. And his climbing animations aren't very good either. So let's get these 2 guys here. In Liberation, it's kind of cool because after you kill a couple guys, people can run away from you, kind of like in Assassin's Creed or in Assassin's Creed 2 or the console games. They get intimidated, like here he's going to run away. I'm not going to let him know. Whereas in Bloodlines, they tend to fight to the death no matter what. Alright, so what I'm going to do here in Liberation soon is I'm going to walk in and out of a shaded area. So I'm going to walk into the shaded area, then into the sunshine, just to show you how the lighting works in the game. So here, I'm in the shaded, now I'm in the sunshine again, and this is like real console quality lighting, and it just shows that it has a really good lighting engine. Like, Aveline's shadow on the ground is corresponding to exactly where the sun's coming from, and there isn't a moment where that doesn't happen. Like in the city, everything is lighted properly. In Bloodlines, there are shaded areas, As you can see here, now I'm in a shaded area, but I will show you exactly how that's kind of painted on. It's not real after I finish this guy off. There you go. So this is a shaded area. I'm going to run into the sun. Watch carefully. Nothing. Like nothing changes. It always seems like the sun's always hitting him, even if he's in the shade. And that's just a testament to the power of the PSP. Not a lot of handheld games have that kind of or have had that kind of lighting. So it's to be expected. But yeah, it makes a huge difference. It really makes the world feel more realistic in Liberation, seeing the lighting there. So in Liberation up here too, I'm just going to kill these two guys quick with the hidden blade. Actually, the second kill you're going to see here is it's going to show a cinematic animation where I stab him in the head here. And I'm going to take his musket, which is you could take people's weapons in Liberation. You can't do that in Bloodlines, unfortunately. You can get different weapons, but you can't take people's weapons off the ground. It's kind of cool picking up the musket too, because it's not something you can ever include in Aveline's loadout. But it's just cool picking it up and using it, because it's a very different weapon from your other stuff. And I'm going to use it here. I'm going to assassinate this guy. Of course, you can use it to shoot like this, or you can use it to melee like this. So anyway, that's it. So overall, you can really see the progression and the growth of the graphics in this series on handhelds, and it's a big improvement. I'm not reviewing the game yet. I will review it later, so I'm not going to talk about gameplay. But yeah, this is just purely graphics. It's really come a long way. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.